So this is the first product we'll talk about. It's called EarPerfect, also known as EarBuddies. Originally it was produced by a physician that's a surgeon in the UK. I believe it's Dr. Galt. And he came out with this a while ago. It's a great package system. You can see right here, lots of information, lots of stuff to read. You know, again, this is sort of like a do-it-yourself project, so they have plenty of instructions. So I'm going to just show you the kind of the instructions they kind of go through. And so you can see this is several pages, 4 pages worth of information to talk about. And so this is all that comes in the kit. I'm going to kind of show you here, so everything is kind of in this kit itself here. It gives you a little beanie cap for your baby to kind of keep the tape and keep your baby from dislodging the ear bed buddies that they use. These are the actual pieces of wire that are bendable, and you can shape these to the shape that you need them to be in. So these kind of go in the ear, and so that's how these are to shape the ear. So those are kind of an important part. The next important part is the tape, and there's 2 different sizes of tape. These are a 1/2 inch size, and these are 1/4 inch size tape. And these are used to tape over the ear, and the instruction and the guide shows you how to put those on. You have to cut the tape to the certain size, and that's what you use. There is some adhesive remover. They've given you plenty of adhesive remover in this kit. They've also given you some skin prep cleanser. They've given you a little small hair trimmer. You will need to trim the hair when you do that. So this is more of a industrial grade type hair trimmer. In the other kits, I'll show you the differences. They give you a smaller hair trimmer in the other kits, but this one's a little bit bigger. And so it's great having that. And then the last little thing they have in here is a little thing to save the hair for the first haircut. So that's kind of nice. Moms love that. So this kit is, you know, you can purchase this online. The price is probably variable depending on when you purchase that and when you watch this video, so I won't really go over that price, but it is a lower price than some of the other options that you may see. And so this kit is available as a do-it-yourself kit to parents, and that's the EarBuddies. So the thing that I'll say about this is that I have a lot of parents come in that have tried this and have not succeeded in whatever ear molding they've done. So just a word of caution, you may end up spending a bunch of money on this and it may not work. So just be careful of that, and if you're not willing to kind of figure it out and learn how to do it yourself, then you should go to an expert and they can help you out wherever that is. There's always resources online. You can Google search it and try to find somebody that does ear molding in your area. So this is the InfantEar basic kit that you can purchase if you're a physician. Typically, parents are not able to purchase this. This is a little bit more expensive. This is actually the most expensive kit that you can get on the market right now, just from what I understand and what I've purchased. And so this kit is a single use. It's for one ear and one use only. So it's one treatment time. And so as you remember, I told you that it takes several weeks, up to 6 weeks usually, to do EarWell treatment or ear molding treatment. Then you know, it's usually we change that out every couple of weeks. So this is a single time use. It is you know, by the companies that, you know, recommendations that you use it for a 3-week total, and that's, you're able to keep it on that long. I have not been able to keep this on for that long, and so you know, it's a challenge for most parents to keep any ear mold on the kid's ear for longer than about 10 to 14 days. you know, occasionally I can get an ear mold to stay on that longer than that, but it's pretty rare. Usually they're coming off at about the 14-day mark. And the reason for that is just the simple biology of the skin. The skin cells turn over every 10 to 14 days. And so you have this shedding of the skin cells every 10 to 14 days, and that's where the adhesive loses its ability to stay stuck on. And so, so there's that. So let me open this up. I just got it taped up here, but let me open it up for you. And so we look inside, and there's a little beanie cap. There's a little baggie for the first haircut, similar to the Perfect ears. There's an instruction guide for the provider. And underneath all this, there's a little second level. In the second level, we have a shaver to shave the hair. We have an adhesive remover, again, sort of like the other devices. We have a pen to mark where you would mark out where to apply the adhesive. And then we have an adhesive that goes around the ear. So this goes behind the ear, and it is positioned in place by, you know, marking out where you want to place it, and then carefully shaving the hair out, and then putting this behind the ear. So this is a system that uses Velcro, which is a little bit different than some of the other systems. And so there's an adhesive that sticks to the back of this of the ear, around the ear, and it has a Velcro-y, it's more of a cloth that Velcro sticks to. Originally they had this product, the Skinafix, which is a skin type glue or skin adhesive, and this was used to keep the tape in place for a longer period of time. Since then they've asked not to use, providers to use that. Then the next thing we have is we have this little device here which goes around the ear, and this goes onto the tape, as you can see. And then we have the pieces that go around the ear. This goes up and around the helical rim and provides into the position that we need where they need to be placed. And then there's a cover which goes over everything. So you typically will put this in, you put the pieces that go around the ear in place wherever they need to go, such as that, and then you put the cover on. And then once the cover goes on, you can see this sits up a little bit. Then you use the silicone matrix material, which comes in a injectable form, and you just inject this material, which then hardens to form a mold cast-like situation for the ear, and that holds the ear in the proper position that you want. Then after you place all that, you want to put the cap over that to kind of hold it in place and keep the baby from grabbing hold of that and pulling it off. Because again, if they grab a hold, it's going to pull and it's going to come right off the ear. And so that's the challenge with it, trying to keep it on. And so that, as you can see, if this is sitting on the ear, or sitting up above at the top of the ear, it's mainly treating the upper part of the ear. It does not cover the conchal bowl. You can still put a mold in the conchal bowl if you need it. However, there's still not a cover completely covering over the conchal bowl. So that's one of the disadvantages of this system, is it doesn't completely treat the entire conchal bowl. So again, this is one more product, and so it comes in this entire kit here, and it's packaged pretty well in this system. Again, that's called the InfantEar system, and that's typically providers are going to be able to purchase that system. Okay. Hello, this is the next system we'll talk about, called the EarWell InfantEar Correction System. It's made by Beacon Medical. It is produced in the United States, and distributed by them. And I've been using this the longest out of all the products, so I tend to have a favorite with this one, as it generally will do just about everything I need it to do. Certain times I've tried the other products and haven't felt like I've been able to achieve everything I need to achieve. So I've used this product for a long time. I modify this quite a bit. It is not a perfect system. However, these are the kind of the tools and the pieces that I can use to do the ear molding that I need to do, and I achieve a pretty good result with this system. So it typically will treat just about any ear deformity that you'll see. So this is what we call a starter kit, and so the starter kit has a certain number of sizes, right and a left, and what we say a medium and a large. There's no small. The medium is the smallest that they have. I believe they're going to come out with something a little bit larger, is what they've said, in the future. So we'll see what that shows. This is the kind of the original product that came out in 2010. So there hasn't been too much adjustment to this since then. So there should be, in the next year or so, there's probably going to be some changes to this. So you may see those changes. It's now 2012, or 2019, so you'll see some changes. So there's just some cover here, and I show you the inside of it, and show there's this little containment parts in there. Typically there's the shaver, electric shaver, that comes in with these. This is very similar to the other systems, except for it's a little bit smaller one. This is sort of like a sideburn trimmer or a nasal hair trimmer, so it's a little bit smaller. I typically prefer to use something a little bit bigger. The EarBuddies has a larger shaver, and I use a typical shaver that's a little bit larger, such as this one. This is just a little bit larger shaver for the thicker hair. But usually most babies' hair, you can use this electric shaver. It's battery operated, so you just replace the battery with time. And so there, like I said, there's two sizes, and I'll show those to you. The first size that I'm going to show you is the large size, and that's the size itself. And it's basically got a kind of a cutout at the bottom. And then the second size that we have is a medium size, and it's a little bit smaller, and you can see the bottom is completely connected at the bottom, so it's a kind of all together there. There's some subtle changes to it, such as this part right here on the inside is a little bit bigger on the larger one and a little bit smaller on the medium-sized one. There's tape on the back, and then tape on the inside of this part here, which goes behind the ear, and to hold the ear down. So they both have covers, and so you can see this covers the entire ear and protects where your mold is. It kind of keeps the mold in place. There's several other pieces. I won't go into all the details of the pieces, but there are what we call helical rim retractors. There's a concho bowl conformer, and those pieces can be added or adjusted or cut to size to fit the ear. They also give you some extra tape. These are double-sided pieces of tape for after you've used this for a period of time and you want to hold the ear into a certain position. You can use this double-sided tape behind the ear to kind of hold the ear back, to pin the ear back for a longer period of time if you're trying to treat a prominent ear deformity, or you're just trying to hold the ear in a certain position. Sometimes I'll use this tape before I go to this. If I'm treating a cryptocia or a different type of ear deformity, I can use this to help stretch that skin out for the cryptocia before I start to use this, because sometimes it's so tight you're not able to put the ear into the EarWell. So there's a lot of there's two levels to this. and there's a lot of different pieces, so it's a little bit more complicated than some of the other systems, but it's pretty much got everything in this kit that you would possibly think you would need for this. Some people find it's not as easy to use and it can be challenging, but I think once you get used to it, I've grown used to it, and I know how to put it on in a certain position so it doesn't cause any problems, such as little sores and things like that with the ear. And I've adjusted it by cut the device so that it stays on properly and it fits properly for each ear. And so it takes a lot of experience and training and knowledge about the system to be able to use it properly, which most people can gain if they are working with another professional who's comfortable using this system. And so I think it's a great system, and over the years I've grown to be able to be more comfortable with it, and so it's helped me out quite a bit. There is one last thing that I use in addition to the EarWell system that I purchased separately, and this is what we call micropore tape. It comes in 1-inch thickness and 1/2-inch thickness. It's made by 3M, and I get this as well, and I cut it to size to apply extra tape around the device, because usually in the front where their mouth and cheek are, those areas of the skin tend to cause the adhesive to come off first, and so by using this extra tape I'm able to keep that area stuck down for longer periods of time. As a disclosure, I do not have any financial interest in any of these products. I do not have stock in any of these products. I have no financial interest involved with any of these. I'm not a paid spokesman for any of these products, and I use these in my office, and I do ear molding in my office on a regular basis.